Hi crafty friends, Melissa Minor here. Thanks so much for joining me on my YouTube channel. Today I'm creating a fall or Halloween layout for the ColorCast Design teams. So let me go ahead and show you all the products and photos that I have, and then we'll jump in on the layout. So I've got these two photos, and this is my kitty Pepper and I was all dressed for Halloween. And then this is the title piece that I want to use from ColorCast Designs. So this is their wood veneer. Now they not only have an acrylic subscription that you can purchase, but they also have a wood veneer subscription, and then you can purchase different titles individually on their website as well. I've also pulled in some flair from Scrap and Happy Studio, and I've got this sketch here from Paper Issues. And so it's a 2-photo sketch, so I think that's going to work out perfect. I have the brand new 49 in Market Vicki Boutin Curiosities in Willow Grove Halloween collection. So they have just their regular Curiosities in Willow Grove, but then they also have this Halloween kit. So this Halloween kit comes with gorgeous papers, and then it also has a sticker sheet. It's got their punch outs, which is just like their, what are they called? Laser cut elements. I believe that's what they're called. Chipboard elements. So they've got just so many things in here. And the paper not only works for just fall or Halloween, but you could use most of this paper for any everyday photos. So here's a look at those laser cut elements here. And then we've got, so see, they're really intricate and delicate. Then we've got a punch out sheet. So these punch out here. And then we've also got stickers. So there's lots and lots of items that are included with this kit. And I'm just looking through here, trying to make some decisions on what I want to use on my layout. Now I'll tell you about the photos that I'm scrapbooking today. So in the photo, I'm wearing this top, and it was from a boutique. And recently I've become obsessed with these boutique clothings, in particular, a brand that's called A Rare Bird. I don't know if you've heard of that before. It's new to me. But when we go to St. Charles, Missouri, I have found that they have this boutique that sells it, and they have an online boutique now too. So A Rare Bird, you can identify their clothing by, they have like this little strip across the top sewn on each of their pieces, and it has like jewels across it. So it's kind of hard to see in my photo, but above the pumpkin, it's got like a strip of jewels, and they're not cheap, right? So this isn't just one of those Walmart t-shirts. This is a boutique shirt, but no one would ever know, except I think somebody that shops in boutiques. But anyway, I think it's super cute. I love the oversized feel of it. It's just nice and comfy, and I wore this for fall and Halloween season. Let me get back to the layout. I'm just gibbering on. So I have cut down a piece of the really pretty pumpkin paper, and I cut that down to 5 wide by 7.5 long, and then I dovetailed the end. And then I took a little piece that was just like a little scrap. I think it's the reverse side, and it was 5 by 4.5. And I'm layering that behind my photos. Now, I do print all my photos at home. I use the Epson PictureMate 400, which I absolutely love. I love that I can just print my photos to whatever size I want. And so these are printed 3 by 4. And then I did mat them on some white cardstock. And then you'll notice I did distress the edges of everything already. I did that off camera. Now, on this layout, I'm trying to make some decisions, and I'm really going to play and move things around, and I think that's part of the beauty of scrapbooking, is just trying different things and seeing what's pleasing to the eye. So it was helpful that I had a sketch to start with, but the decorating or the, making it your own is really the fun part. I like repeating elements, and in scrapbooking, that rule of 3, where you have 3 clusters on your layout to draw your eye around the page, I'm going to do that. So I've got a ghost and a couple pumpkins, and my cluster there on the right, the same repeating elements, and my cluster there between the photos. And then I'm going to start by just adding those items down below to make my third cluster. Now this third cluster is going to be around my title, and that's that ColorCast Designs title piece. So I'm going to kind of use that down here at the bottom, and I will move these around quite a bit, but I know that I want to use these repeating elements in each of the 3 clusters. This paper that I'm using for the background, that is actually the packaging. So that's on the back of the cover sheet of this Halloween assortment pack. I love that about 49 in Market, how nothing goes to waste. So I am using that instead of plain white cardstock, and I thought it was perfect with the gray and the light gray stripes. Perfect for your fall and Halloween layouts. I love that this kit had a kitty cat, which is perfect. And even though this kitty cat is black and Pepper is not, I thought it was such a cute element to add to my title, so it's definitely going on the page. Now I'm pointing out that there is a circular element over to the left of the photos in the sketch. And first I thought about cutting something on my Cricut. I was trying to decide what I wanted to do, but then it dawned on me that there are spider webs in this collection, and I'm going to end up pulling out a spider web. So I'll do that in just a moment. I'm going to audition it there on the back. I'm kind of playing with some different elements. I know that I want a tag behind the 2 photos like in the sketch, but I'm not really sold on any of the pieces I've tried so far. So here is where I'm bringing in that spider web, and it is white, which is kind of nice because you can ink it up or paint it to whatever color that you want. So some people don't want a white spider web or a black spider web. Maybe you want purple or orange or something to bring color to your layout. I'm actually going to paint mine black. I'm going to ink it up here in just a moment, but I'm laying it there on the page so I can kind of get an idea of what I want. Now don't worry, I won't make you watch me glue all of these items down, but I wanted you to see kind of my thought process of how I choose an element and then lay it there and then look at it and see if I like it and then take it away. I don't know if many of you do that as well. I think maybe we all do, but sometimes it's important, I think, to see the process and not just thinking that I just pick up an item and put it on the layout and it's in its perfect spot. I do have to mix and match and move things around quite a bit to see what I like. All right, so I do like that tag. I finally figured out what tag I like behind my photos there. The only thing that I kind of wish I would have done different looking back is I wish I would have had maybe a longer banner strip. I wanted more of that paper to show. I really, really like that paper with the pumpkins on it, and I wanted more of that to show, and I end up covering it up with my embellishment cluster and then at the top with my layers and my tags. So if I had to do this over again, I would make that element a little bit larger. Here's another tag that I thought I would layer on, and this is from one of those laser cut elements. So it's got like that delicate, it looks like string on it, but it's not string. Now I found a sticker, and I love that sticker. It says photo time, so I thought that was perfect. And what you saw me doing there was taking my powder tool and just rubbing the back of the sticker to take the stick off. And what that does is it allows me to move it around the page like a die cut. So I'm able to make a decision to change my mind if I want to. So I've pulled in a black Distress Oxide ink here. At first I had the brown, I thought that was my black, but now I've got the black soot, and I am just taking an ink blending tool, and I've sped this up quite a bit, and I am just inking up this spider web to get good coverage here, and I just want the black. Now I could have painted, now looking back, I think I wish I would have painted it to give it more of like a shine, but I do like the way it looks with the ink. But there's so many different things that you could do with these elements that are just left raw like that. Okay, I love that spider web. And off camera, you'll notice I added another spider web down there to the left of my title. And I like that. Now I'm just taking some thread and I'm making a little tangled thread cluster here. I'm going to add that behind my Scrappin' Happy Studio flare. And so I'll put that down here. So that's super cute. I love that just like orange thread poking out. So we'll get that glued down. I'm just using some glue dots. You'll notice I've got my foam roll over to the side. I used some foam to pop up several of my elements. I've got the cat. I don't have it glued down yet, but I will pop up the cat and a few of these pumpkins, gluing down my spider web. I like to use the Nuvo Deluxe glue on those little laser cut elements. And over on the right hand side of my photo, I've got all of those elements popped up. I used some foam behind everything, and underneath my photo I did as well. I think I used foam on just about everything. Now I'm bringing in some Shimmerz paints, and I've got the color Black Hole, and this is a color splash, and this is just giving me those great black splatters. Now I am on the Shimmerz Paints design team as well, so if you ever place an order on the Shimmerz Paints website, you can add my name, Melissa Minor, to the notes section and they will send you a free paint. I'm finishing with a few orange pops of color, and that's going to finish today's layout. I will leave links down below to all the products I've used today, including a link to the ColorCast Designs website where you can find perfect titles for your layouts. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe and come back. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!